Davide Tavaniello, co-founder and co-CEO of Hippocrates Holding.
La farmacia, appunto.
La farmacia, the pharmacy, full stop. Why did you want to say that? Well, you've got a red dot. It's not written as a whole. Well, that was the result of quite a long debate because we wanted it to be a name that could convey our mission to network the Italian pharmacies. And our positioning and model is the Italian pharmacy online. So what name would be more appropriate than La Farmacia, the pharmacy, full stop. So we have involved, as usual, 10 creative agencies, but in the very end we got back to our original idea. Well, that is our original idea, which was also proposed by one of the agencies. And so we said, okay, if the marketing gurus say it can work, maybe that's a smart idea, so we should implement that. Is it going to be also an ad? Well, we've recently launched our own payoff, the pleasure of feeling fine, because I believe that in this world we have always gone to a pharmacy because of health reasons, so to buy medicines. So our challenge then is stepping from medicines to prevention. So people go to a pharmacy because they want to feel well, and we work on our pharmacists for them to be health, all-around health consultants. How did you think about creating a network of pharmacies? Okay, there are the terms of law, but what about the rest? Well, it was quite a chance because, as you said, there has been a regulatory change in August 2017 with the competition legislative decree. Both myself and the other co-founder, Rodolfo Marino, were quite curious about this regulatory change. So we started to understand what had happened in other countries, particularly in Sweden in 2009 when there was the property liberalization. We saw that from 2009 to 2017 there had been a strong consolidation. Hence we wondered, why isn't it possible to replicate the same also on the Italian market? We then started studying the segment. Yes, we both came from finance. Yes, we were quite lucky because we found a capital to realize this initiative. 35 families believed in our own idea and in our ability to realize it. Hence, we will always be very grateful to these families. And we kicked off from there. The idea was to network the Italian pharmacies. Our analysis had shown that mainly those who were starting to work on the Italian market were larger international groups whose business model was more similar to a drugstore than to the Italian pharmacy. And due to the Italian characteristics of the market, we believe that that drugstore model could not work on the Italian market. Hence, there was room for a different project. And how are we now? Well, currently we have 300 pharmacies, owned pharmacies. They are 230 are already our properties, 60 are going to enter our own network, 10 per month in the forthcoming months. It would be difficult to integrate more than 10 per month. The group was non-existent 4 years ago, and in 2022 will probably exceed 500 million of annualized revenues. Of course, at the same time, In the first phase, we have worked from 2018 to 2021 to create the network and the platform. Our goal was to reach a defined critical mass to be relevant within this industry. I believe we were successful because we didn't exist and we're now the first player at the end of 2021. Currently, from 2022, our focus is on the industrial project, La Farmacia, full stop, a new brand strategy, a new format, and become visible and recognizable at B2C level. That's the challenge we have ahead for the forthcoming years, and I believe that numbers are helping us, and the critical mass is also important. So we are now 300. Our plan goal is to exceed 500, getting close to 550. In terms of sales, we get to reach 1 billion euro in the next 3-4 months, a couple of millions per pharmacy. Yes, but compared to the beginning, is it easier now to acquire pharmacies because by words of mouth it's much easier? Is it more expensive, less expensive? How did this approach to acquisitions evolve? Well, somehow we have opened up a new market opportunity, and so there are several copies of Hippocrates all around that somehow developed and that are trying to replicate our own initiative in different ways. So this has inevitably brought to an increase in the price and the market assessments. At the same time, however, I believe that our strong point is an industrial project with industrial synergies that possibly other players do not have or have not developed yet. Hence, possibly adjusted by synergies, the assessment is substantially unchanged for us. I believe that the problem linked to the increase in the assessment has an impact on the smaller players or those that have joined the sector more recently. What are the first things you do when you acquire a pharmacy? Training, the management system, the software? Well, yes, we've got the same software in all our pharmacies, and in the training, of course, the assortment, the categories, the exhibition layouts. Of course, even before that, we understand whether there's a technical director who can be appointed within the pharmacy or whether we have to recruit one externally, hence finding an external third-party profile. Then we work on training, our vision, our values, and we try to go on with our own project. Well, talking about cosmetics and beauty, what's its weight within your sales basket? As for sales, it's close to 6% as a total sales, so not that much. On the commercial part, you know that in pharmacies we have the ethical world and the commercial world. So to simplify, it's 50-50, 50 ethical, 50 commercial. Hence, we say that as for commercial, it accounts for about 10-11%. We are currently quite in line with the market data, but this is an area prone to great expansion for us. There are important projects underway so that the penetration of beauty and cosmetics within our own commercial segment can increase quite considerably. Our goal for increase is 5 percentage points in the forthcoming 3 years. This is a strong focus for us because, as you understand, and as we have already heard before from other speakers, there's great fidelization between the client and the pharmacist. Hence, it is an area with great attention. What are you going to do to increase this 10-11% share? Much is done by training on the pharmacist. Yes, of course, first we work on category and the assortments, but considering the fact that we can do that, the paramount step is training, hence developing a more commercial approach. Yes, more commercial, because today we see that consumers want to buy cosmetic products at the pharmacy pharmacy because the pharmacist has a university degree, and so his or her suggestion has a strong impact on the consumer's decision to buy cosmetics at the pharmacy. But currently, there's still a mentality which is quite outdated, obsolete. So we have to work on that and to work on the skills and professionalism of our own operators. As all distribution, I think it is also very important to have a private label. Do you have any projects on that? We have launched our own private label. It's La Farmacia, full stop. We did that starting from supplements because that was a category that was closer to that of the pharmacy. Some references are quite easy to be suggested by our pharmacists. We have 35 items from being non-existent to about 4 million euro sell out the first year, and this year we point to 112 million sell out value. A couple of months ago, we have launched the integration of the line to cover also cosmetic lines, basic cosmetic lines, and hygiene, personal hygiene. So we added up these two basic categories in the world of pharmacies, and that's no secret. There are some operators there are strong competitors for us, so we do have to manage most of their share within the pharmacies we acquire. So we needed a group response to these labels. So this is the rationale at the basis of our own private label on this category. Will you further expand makeup and other categories, or? Well, makeup is a very difficult category to manage within the pharmacy. I believe that a category we would like to work on, and which we are thinking about, is hair care. From our own point of view, that's quite underpenetrated within the pharmacy channel, and that definitely represents an opportunity for growth. As regards makeup instead, well, we might have something possibly, but not our own private label, but in partnership with other companies. I think that's a category which is better managed in perfumeries. And what about could be the result of this private label range within 3 years? We would like it to reach about 10% of the commercial. Well, no, 5% of the total sales. Well, it's currently like that. It's 2.5 now. So you would see a doubling within the next 3 years. Yes. But is the project profitable at the moment? What's the profitability? Very high. So you've got the synergies. It's not only it's a question of economics. And what about the future? What do you foresee? Well, no, before that, I know you have also started in e-commerce. Yes, we purchased one operator competing. It was shown before in the pharma research, an operator competing in the same sector. The name is Top Farmacia. We have purchased it because we understood that consumers are omnichannel. More and more omnichannel. So we did some research. What emerged was that those who buy online, particularly if we consider the last month, 70% of those who bought online in the past month also bought in the brick-and-mortar universe. About 25% of the client base of our interviewee live in the municipalities where we have our own pharmacies, and that was actually a good opportunity for cooperation and to intersect and detect this slice of consumers that were approachable for us. We have so many consumers with an overlap of only 3,000 consumers. That was very important because that brought up an additional consumers and customers considering to our existing one. And we know that online you cannot buy all the categories of products. So those products that are subject to prescription and services are to be brought in the brick-and-mortar pharmacy. So one strategy is cross-selling to generate traffic for the brick-and-mortar pharmacy. So the For instance, the customer might decide to buy online and then take the product at the pharmacy, but that's going to be different because we don't need any cannibalization of the brick-and-mortar pharmacy, but for different categories, there's an opportunity. And what about the way out, stock exchange sales? Well, I'm waiting for the phone call. Well, she's very good at moderating too, so I believe she'll be here to moderate you within a few years, and so that would mean, well, that would be great. After 2.5 years from the establishment of the company, we've been acquired by an infrastructural fund, Anten. So the exit strategy is not within my own scope, but I believe there are several options. If I can express my own opinion, I wouldn't be sad about a possible acquisition like that. That would be a good story. So thank you very much. We'll see in the future whether that comes true, and we all hope that. Thank you and congratulations to now.